Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So today's pick a card reading is for those of you who are in a no contact situation or a minimal contact situation with a person of interest, and maybe you're feeling a bit confused about what happened and what's going on with your person. So in today's reading, we are going to get to the bottom of that. But before we get into it, I want to give a huge thank you to Ana Luisa, who is sponsoring today's video. Ana Luisa is a New York City-based jewelry brand that crafts high-quality pieces at an affordable price. I've actually been wearing a ring from Ana Luisa in most of my readings. You may recognize it. It's like a gold snake ring. I'm wearing it in today's reading as well. In my personal life, I tend to wear these smaller, simpler pieces, always gold. I love gold jewelry. So my Ana Luisa pieces have been a go-to for me for the past 6 months. I've been carrying them back and forth with me between Canada and Japan. I have this fire pendant from their personality pendant collection, as well as the Celeste earrings. I really appreciate that they are tarnish resistant. They haven't tarnished at all over the past months, whereas some of my other pieces, especially from affordable brands, they do tend to tarnish and lose their gold color. But these pieces are still going strong, which just goes to show that you don't have to spend a ton of money for high quality, long-lasting jewelry. Also, just a little thing I noticed is that if the necklace gets tangled up, it's really easy to undo it. Like, I can get this thing untangled in a few seconds. I also have some new pieces which I want to show you. I'm so excited to add these to my collection. I'll have them all linked down below, so let me know if you guys check them out. We can be jewelry twinsies. And I love that they have so many personalized pieces. Like this C necklace, obviously you can get this in any letter. This is C for Carrie. And they also have pieces for all of the zodiac signs and elements. It really makes it feel like it's your own original piece. If you guys vibe with these pieces, you can check out Ana Luisa's website with the link down below, and you can get 20% off your order using my code KINOTAROT20. Thank you so much to Ana Luisa for sponsoring today's video. Thank you so much to you guys for listening to that. And now let's get on to the reading. Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So today's pick a card reading is for those of you who are in a no contact situation or are in a separation with a person of interest. I am going to do a more thorough breakdown of what we'll be covering in this reading once you have chosen your group, but basically we're going to be getting to the bottom of why this no contact situation or separation has happened and look at what's going on your person's end. What are they thinking? What are they feeling? What's going on? Because I know it can be really confusing when this type of thing happens, sometimes seemingly out of the blue. So I hope that this reading can bring you guys some clarity if you need it, some reassurance if you need it, or some closure if you need it. We will get to the bottom of things in this reading. Hi guys, it's me from the future. I just wanted to add in here that a lot of the messages that came out in today's reading were romantic in nature, like for romantic connections. However, you are definitely welcome to watch this reading with regards to a platonic no contact situation that you are curious about. So feel free to just omit the romantic messages, or you could interpret them in a way that is more fitting to your situation. But yeah, I just wanted to clarify that. There are 4 groups for you guys to choose from today, and I'm going to be using a different tarot deck for each reading. I've also placed a different crystal on top, and I am going to show you one card from each deck to help you pick your group. So you could be drawn to the crystal, the back artwork of the decks, the front artwork, or the specific card that comes out for your group. So without further ado, let's give you a close-up look at each of your options. Number 1s, you have red calcite and you have the Sasuraibito tarot, and your card is the Ace of Wands. Number 2s, you have Agate and you have the Dreamy Moons Tarot, and your card is Judgment. Number 3, you have Kyanite and you have the Tarot Disassembled, and your card is the Nine of Cups. And number 4, you have Rhodochrosite, you have the Serpentfire Tarot, and your card is the Sun. Okay, so just in case you need a bit more time to pick, these are all of your options laid out side by side so that you can compare them and see which one is calling to you the most. As always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number one. Hi number ones, so if you guys chose the red calcite and the Sasuraibito tarot, this is going to be your reading. So as promised in the intro, I'm going to show you guys a full breakdown of everything that will be covered in today's reading. We have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended today, and here on YouTube we're going to start with an energy check, which will be looking at what your connection was like before the no contact situation started. So this will be your way to know whether this is your group or not, if it sounds like the connection that you were in. And then after the energy check, we're going to go into your person's feelings before no contact versus their feelings now. So we'll see, have their feelings changed? And if so, what changed? We're going to see the reason for them going no contact. We're going to see what they would say to you if they were being completely open and honest. And then we're going to finish off with messages and advice from your guides regarding this connection. And then in the extended reading, we're basically going to see what will come of this. So will your person eventually reach out to you? And actually, I want to add here, if they do reach out, what will they say? What will the nature of that communication be? Then we're going to see, should you take action towards your person, or will spirit take some sort of action to facilitate things? And then finally, we're going to see what is coming next in this connection and when. We'll get relevant time frames for the development of the connection. So that is everything that we're going to be covering today, and we're going to start off with the energy check and take a look at what things were like before this no contact separation situation. So if this sounds like the connection you had with your person, then keep watching, but if not, you might want to try listening to a different group. So to start off with our oracle cards, we have I know it's love, but influencing factors. There are influencing factors at play regarding your love life. Money issues can play a role, as well as a career change and foreign countries and cultures. Then we have I desire you. And I don't deserve to be in your life. And then our two tarot cards, we have the Seven of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups. So these two tarot cards that we have here, it could be that one is representing you and one is representing your person. They could also both be representing you, like different energies that you have been in throughout the span of this connection, because of course that can change over time. But if neither of these energies sound like you, then this might not be your group. Right away, it's interesting that both of the tarot cards are number 7s. This could be indicating that you and your person are the same age, the same sign, the same life path number. You could have the same initials, like your first or last name starts with the same letter. Or you could be from the same country or city, or like have the same origins and background. But it seems like between you and your person, there is a lot that you have in common. The number 7 makes me think about alignment. So the two of you could be quite aligned in your belief system, in your values. You could be aligned in like religious or political or spiritual ways, or you could just find that the two of you have quite similar personalities. This may also be someone that you have felt is perfect or nearly perfect for you. Like this is a person who embodies a lot of the qualities that you would want in your ideal partner. I'm hearing the word dreamy as well. This could be someone that you have found quite dreamy. They could have an ethereal beauty about them, or when you are with them, it feels like a dream. The fact that you met them even might feel like a dream. This could even also be someone that you just dream quite a bit about. Over here on this side, we have earth energy, and over here we have water energy. The two of you could be earth and water signs, but I think that more so this is representing one of you being much more of the practical, grounded type, and one of you being more the spiritual, intuitive, creative, sensitive type. I think that both of you are the type of person to take things slow, but the Seven of Cups person seems less calculated about it. I feel like they just go into things with no rush, and I will take action when it feels right. They go by their feeling. Whereas the Seven of Pentacles person feels a lot more calculated in their slowness. It comes from a more cautious and conservative place, whereas for the Seven of Cups person, it comes more from a place of feeling things out, giving themselves time to feel things out. So for example, in a relationship, the Seven of Cups person would say, I want to take things slow because I really want to get to know this person. I really want to feel out their energy, and I want to create a bond where I feel completely safe and comfortable and feel like I can trust them and be myself. And then when things really, really feel right for me, we can make it official. Whereas the Seven of Pentacles person would more be like, I like to take things slow. And for that reason, I'm going to date you for 6 months. And then after 6 months, I will see, you know, it's like, it's more calculated on this person's end. And because of that, this person might actually go even slower than is necessary sometimes. It's like the Seven of Cups person does like to take it slow, but they're not the type to drag things out or be like overly cautious. Whereas I feel like this person is overly cautious. It's like they like to give themselves a lot of time. They just like to be really, really careful. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's kind of two different styles and approaches. Another thing that is coming through is that there's an analogy. If you had a cake in the oven, the Seven of Pentacles person is the type to check on the cake every 2 seconds. Like there's a watching the boiled pot type of energy to the Seven of Pentacles person. So they would keep like opening and checking on it and seeing how the progress is going. And then the Seven of Cups person is the type to just put it in the oven and then forget it's there and then do a million other things and then come back an hour later like, oh crap, my cake. This person is very much more like free, going with the flow, maybe sometimes has their head in the clouds and gets carried away, but they're just vibing their way through life. This Seven of Cups person, they're just feeling their way through life. Whereas this person seems like super, super controlled and calculated and like on top of things. Yes. And actually this is Taurus energy that we have here, and this is Scorpio energy. So the two of you could be sister signs. The sister signs are Aries, Libra, Taurus, Scorpio, Gemini, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Cancer, Leo, Virgo. Leo, Aquarius, and Virgo, Pisces. Those are, and actually maybe I said Leo, Virgo as a slip. There could be a Leo, Virgo pair here, but yeah, those are the sister signs. So while I do think the two of you have a lot in common, there's definitely some things that make you different, although I feel like the ways in which you are different could complement each other. You know, someone who's more of a spontaneous, vibey person, and then someone who's very much like a check on everything, keep everything under control, be calculated and methodical. Those two energies, they could really balance each other out nicely. I think one thing, the energy that seems to be challenging is just maybe that the Seven of Pentacles person is sometimes disconnected from their feelings and does what they think they should do rather than what they really want to do. And then at the same time, the Seven of Cups person could maybe be overly romantic sometimes, you know, or like overly idealistic. They could also be the type of person who likes the idea of things, likes the fantasy of things, but then when it comes to the real life situation or when it comes to really taking action, that's where they could struggle. I feel like the Seven of Cups is the type of person who could create the most beautiful project in the world, but then it never gets out there because the idea of like promoting and doing a whole rollout or like printing and publishing their work or whatever it is, all of that practical stuff is just too overwhelming for them. So it's like they have, oh my God, these people would make an amazing team. Like if this person like made beautiful projects and then this person focused on like the practical aspects and like, you know, getting it into the world and marketing and planning all that stuff. Wow, you two would be amazing business partners. I don't know if you ever talked about that, but like even with career here, like maybe you guys do work together or you've talked about collaborating, or Spirit just wants you to know that you could do really amazing work together. That's such a cool message that just came through. So these two cards together, I know it's love, but ... and then influencing factors. I feel like there is no question about the connection and the chemistry that exists between the two of you. And I think you have both recognized it. I wouldn't be surprised if you have both openly talked about your feelings for each other and like how happy you make each other. Or at the very least, it may have gone unspoken, but I do think it's something that you both know and that you both felt. And any problems that existed within this relationship, I don't think it has to do with a lack of feelings. Because it's like, I know it's love, but there are other, you can literally read this together. I know it's love, but there are influencing factors at play regarding your love life. Like there's other things going on. It could be one or both of your careers that takes a lot of time, or your energy, schooling, major life decisions, major life transitions, as well as like it could be long distance as well with the 9th house and with foreign countries and cultures. There could be physical distance between you two, or there could be like cultural differences that sometimes like affect your communication, or you just have different like expectations in the relationship. Something that I could see happening in this connection is that because you do have so much in common, one or both of you maybe like inadvertently assumed that you were just the same in all ways and like on the same page about all things, because you just vibe together so well and have so much in common that maybe there were some assumptions made and things weren't clearly communicated, like your expectations and like what you wanted out of this connection. I'm hearing like someone may have been blindsided, or someone may have been surprised by what the other was truly feeling, because there was an assumption that, oh, we just feel the same way, we just want the same things. Of course, because we're so similar. But yeah, in some ways there's like differing views or differing culture that was maybe at play in the connection. This is interesting as well. There's an I desire you, but I don't deserve to be in your life. So one or both of you could have struggled with the feeling that the other person is out of your league. You both want each other, but one or both of you has this feeling of, I don't deserve the other person. Like they're too good for me, they're out of my league, whatever it might be. If one of you like hurt the other or made a mistake in this connection, I feel like the person who did the hurting, the person who made the mistake, they're not really able to forgive themselves. Like they're struggling. Yeah, they're struggling with that and maybe feel like they blew it or they don't deserve the connection anymore. But this is what I'm seeing for the energy between the two of you. So we're going to get into your tarot now. And the first thing we're going to do is compare your person's feelings before you went no contact versus their feelings now, and see if their feelings have changed, and if so, what. number one's person. What were their feelings for group number one before this no contact situation? So we have the Page of Wands. And what are their feelings now? We have the Emperor. Interesting. So both of these are fiery energy because we have fire signs here, Aries, Leo, Sag, and we have Aries energy with the Emperor. It's interesting the contrast that is here because the Page of Wands, yes, the Page of Wands has passion, has spark, has a lot of potential, but is still quite unevolved or undeveloped, whereas the Emperor is very highly established, very mature, very strong, very much in control. So there is a feeling that your person had underestimated you in some ways, honestly, it could also just be that some time has passed since going no contact. But what I'm seeing with these two cards is it's like when you were together or when you were, you know, in communication, when you were involved with each other, I think they saw you as someone, first of all, they were very physically attracted to you. They could have also been like sexually attracted to you if that is the nature of your relationship. I think that they had a lot of fun spending time with you. I think you made them laugh, you made them happy, you made them excited. They definitely felt sparks flying between the two of you. It is possible that they either saw you or saw the connection as something more like casual or more just for fun, or like they saw you as someone who could only offer that. Whether that's because like they mistook you for a player or that was just their intention, like they just wanted to do something fun and casual and like no strings attached. But generally with the Page of Wands, there's not really a feeling of like seeing something super solid or seeing something really serious. The reason I initially thought they underestimated you is because we have the Emperor, which is how they feel about you now. So it's like you've gone from this little Page of Wands to this really solid, strong, powerful Emperor. It's like now they see that you were long-term material. Now they see that you were commitment material. It could have to do with like moves that you've made in your life since going no contact. Like maybe you've really advanced in your career or you've just done a lot of personal growth. Whereas here it seemed like you had the potential, you just hadn't really grown into yourself. So if I can give an example, it would be like two people who are having kind of a friends with benefits or a casual relationship or something like that. And one of them is talking about their big dreams to go to law school and become a lawyer. And the other person maybe like doesn't really believe them or doesn't really take them seriously or just doesn't think much of it. And now that they've parted ways, this person actually went off and did all the things they said they were going to do. Like they've really blossomed in their full potential. And now that other person is looking like, oh shit, they actually did it. It's like they maybe didn't realize you were serious or like for some reason didn't know that you could do it or actually were going to do it. Yeah, there's something about it's like underestimated you or didn't really take what you were saying seriously. And only now that they see you actually do it, they see your potential. Whereas before it's like, I don't know if they saw your potential or took your potential seriously, or maybe it just comes from like how they were approaching the connection, what they wanted out of it. They were maybe just looking for something more casual at the time, but now that you're not in contact, they see you in a more serious light. Like they see you as material for a serious partnership. Interesting. Oh, I'm just looking at this. I don't deserve to be in your life. This person could have some self-esteem issues that they're only comfortable being in your life if you are this Page of Wands. Because if you grow into the Emperor, then they feel like below you, or they don't feel worthy of being in your life anymore. So it's like before you had really matured and before you had really reached all your success, that was very comfortable to them. Because like you being at that level of your life, it didn't push them to grow. They didn't feel pressure to be better, like so that they could be a match to you. It maybe comforted their ego or comforted their self-esteem that like we're both at the same level. Or maybe there was a time where they felt like they were doing better than you. And then when you started doing better than them, they didn't like it. They didn't like that. And they kind of stopped talking to you. Yeah. So I feel like what changed? It's that you changed for the better. And I don't know if they could handle it, honestly. I think this person just has some insecurities to deal with. I think this is their sentiment. And I feel like with the Seven of Cups, I'm hearing they will repeat this mistake. You know, looking at all these photos, you know, going through the next person and the next person, if they don't realize that it's their own insecurities that is causing them to like lose people or drift apart from people, they will repeat this pattern like in their next relationship. It definitely seems like a them problem. Okay, let's see. Why did they go no contact? We have the Page of Pentacles. Wow, and the Seven of Cups. It really has to do with you leveling up, with you evolving. And again, like the Page of Pentacles, it talks about a new job, a new financial opportunity, a new project. I feel like it has to do with some opportunity that you received, or like your value was increasing or your confidence was increasing. You were leveling up in some way. And they saw you doing well, and I feel like it made them insecure, and it made them feel like, oh my gosh, what am I doing with my life? The Seven of Cups is about being overwhelmed and having so many things to choose from, having so many options. There's something about you getting your life together and like getting your shit on track that I think made them feel small and made them feel like, oh my gosh, what am I doing with my life? You know, because the Seven of Cups is kind of like the opposite of having your stuff under control and having your stuff together. They feel now like you are the Emperor and they are this page. And I really, really want to be clear that this is just their perception. This feeling of like, I'm smaller than you, I don't deserve to be in your life. I'm not saying that you feel this way. But there's a feeling of like they were humbled. I do think this person, for some of you, this person either like obsessively checks on you, like they might look at your social media, or it could go like one or the other way. They could either like check on you really, really, really frequently, or they could be really, really, really actively avoiding you. But I don't think there's really an in-between where it's like, if they pop up on my feed, whatever, you know? I feel like they either really, really check on you, or they really like don't want to see what you're up to. Because there's just something about your leveling up and like getting your life together and growing that feels triggering to them. What would they say to you if they were completely honest? We have the Four of Pentacles. Oh wow, and we have the Four of Wands and the Knight of Wands. Okay. This person has, I'm gonna be honest, the word possessive came to my mind, but I don't feel the energy in like a creepy way or in a bad way, if that makes sense. I feel it as someone who like, they just want to hold on to you really tightly deep down, and deep down they don't like the idea of anyone else having you. I think deep down, like it really comes, I'm saying deep and down a lot, I'm sorry. Deep down, it really comes down to insecurities that they have, where like if they were in a healthy place, then I think, you know, seeing you grow and thrive and blossom, it would make them extremely happy for you. And I think their soul, their higher self, is extremely happy for you, recognizes that you are really coming into your destiny. You're really coming into the version of you that you were meant to be. And actually, to this person's soul, you are very, very inspiring. It makes their soul happy to see you do what you're doing. But I feel like their human self is struggling a bit with 3D earth insecurities, and for whatever reason they have this idea that you are going to outgrow them. With this Seven of Cups, the picture of all these people, they might feel like you have so many options, that like everyone loves you, everyone wants to be with you. You must be flooded with messages from people who like you, and you know, if you go out, everyone must be like trying to get with you. Which it could be true to some extent. You could be really freaking hot, and you know, a lot of people could want to be with you. But I feel like whatever the reality of the situation is, they blow it up out of proportion because of their insecurities. So one example of this is like, maybe you go out with your friends for a night out, and a couple people do approach you and ask for your number. The way they would see it is that you step into that club and like everyone is crowding around you and trying to get a piece of you. It's like their insecurities really blow the reality of the situation out of proportion. And yes, maybe when you do level up, you're gonna have more eyes on you, you're gonna have more people approaching you, but like when you're loyal to someone you care about, that doesn't matter. And I think there's just a part of them that is still insecure and feels threatened. Honestly, they could have had an experience in the past where someone that they were friends with or someone that they were dating had a significant success in their life, and then all of a sudden started feeling like, I'm above you, I'm better than you, and by the way, I'm leaving you for this rich person. You know, they could have very well had an experience like that. And so seeing the developments that you're going through, it could trigger some of those past fears. But yes, there is a feeling of like fear and insecurity is blowing the reality of the situation out of proportion. And, you know, so trying to reason with this person in their current frame of mind, it might not be super helpful. As someone who has dealt with debilitating insecurities, I do feel for this person. But if they're behaving to you in a way that is not nice, that obviously, like, it's not an excuse. I think that in their heart of hearts, deep down, they do not want to let go of you. They want to hold on to you really, really tightly. And I'm hearing like, I don't want anyone else to have you. I think that you make this person really, really happy and you do inspire them. And in their heart of hearts, they wish that they could be, you know, the confident person that you deserve. With the Four of Wands here, this person could even see you as marriage material or as a soulmate. That is very much in the meaning of the Four of Wands. They could have seen you or you coming into their life as a wish come true as well. I think in their heart, they still feel quite close to you. But their ego creates a divide. And so it's like that's why some of them, they might be actively avoiding you, because it's like when they see you, it stirs something in their heart and soul that their ego is not ready to embrace. And that gap is just too painful. So they try to pretend the gap isn't there and just like shut off from it. But others may be really, really, really checking on you. I feel like it could go either way. Yeah, so I think if they were being honest, they would tell you how much they admire you and how proud they are of you and how close they want to hold you and how they don't want anyone else to have you. And they really wish, I think their soul really wishes that they could see you as an inspiration to step up, because, you know, they have amazing potential too. I really do feel for this person, but at the same time, it doesn't mean like what they're doing is okay, you know? And then, oh my gosh, at the bottom of the deck, messages and advice from your guides, we have the 10 of Cups, which is the happiest card, one of the happiest cards in all of tarot. And so is the Four of Wands. Like you got the two cards that I would call the happiest two cards. You've maybe even heard me or others say that. I think your guides, first of all, I feel like your souls are on really, really good terms, and all of this stuff that you are going through right now, it might be something that you agreed to help your souls learn an important lesson. I can definitely see a lesson on their side that needs to be learned. Maybe there's a lesson on your end as well, but I actually do not really see any distress or frustration or anything like that between your souls. It feels peaceful and happy. So perhaps you're playing out a dynamic between the two of you that is meant to happen for your growth. I definitely don't think this is your soul's first time together, because you're very good teachers for each other, and you are likely like family. Your soul family, or your souls would consider each other as family, like with these two cards. You could also have a lot of like mutual people in your lives who deep down want the two of you to work things out. But it's like your guides are giving only positive messages about this person, about this connection. I want to say there's no ill will or anything like that. This is just someone who is struggling a lot with 3D earth illusions. And I feel like if the two of you were to, maybe when you meet in your dreams, like it's all love, it's all beautiful, or when you come back to your soul expressions, like it's all beautiful. I think there is still really potential for this connection to be, I'm saying beautiful way too much, but there is really potential for this connection to be something beautiful and really, really happy if we can get over these difficulties, these insecurities. I think the advice from your guides is definitely don't make yourself smaller to make this person more comfortable. That is not, that's not your path. That's not in your best interest or the best interest of anyone. Keep pursuing your joy in life. Keep pursuing your career goals, your study goals, your spiritual goals. Keep becoming your best and happiest self. And if you're not, you're not in contact with this person right now, I know it could be easy to be frustrated with them or upset with them, or I don't know, maybe you feel a bit more compassion after hearing these messages. But I think what they really need is just to be sent love, because they need to know that they're worthy, and they need to know that they're capable of amazing things. They need to know that they're deserving of love in all of their versions, in their current version who maybe feels lost, and in their future version that has it all together and is super successful. All versions of them are worthy just by being. And I think that's what they really need to know. It's crazy. I feel like the journey of self-love, it's like you finally get to see the world through a realistic lens. Insecurities are scary. They just warp your perception of things so much. And I think this person just really needs like love and healing energy sent to them. Keep going. Keep pursuing your greatest joy. Please don't make yourself smaller. Keep on the path that you are going on, because you're doing amazing. You're doing amazing things right now, and you're inspiring a lot of people. Okay, so this is all I'm seeing for our YouTube reading. We're going to take it over to the extended now, where we're going to see, will your person eventually reach out to you? And if they do, what is it that they're going to say to you? If it doesn't look likely that they'll reach out, we're going to ask if you should reach out or take some kind of action towards them, or perhaps spirit will be taking action and making something happen between the two of you. And we're going to see what is next, what's the next development in this connection, and when is that going to happen. So if that's something that interests you and you would like to join me in the extended, I'm going to have that linked down below. But if you're going to end the reading here, I want to say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch exclusive timeless readings just like this one, except for you get to choose the topic. I'll also link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song, and I'll have my latest release linked down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. So all that stuff is going to be down below for you in the description, as well as in the pinned comment of this video. Thank you so much for supporting me and for supporting my channel. It truly means a lot to me, and just thank you for being here. Group number ones, I'm sending so much love to you, to your person, your higher selves, your spirit guides, your whole spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number twos. So if you guys chose the Agate and the Dreamy Moons Tarot, this is going to be your reading all about your no contact or separation situation. So this is the full breakdown of the reading that we're going to do today. We're going to start with the reading here on YouTube, and that will have an energy check. Basically, I'll be describing the energies of your connection, and if it sounds like the connection that you are in, then that will be your sign that this is your group. And the energy check, it could be talking about the connection before you went no contact, or it could be talking about the current energies of the connection. We'll see what spirit wants to show us. But after we do that energy check, we're going to see, how did your person feel about you before going no contact, when you guys were still talking, involved with each other, what were their feelings for you at that time? And what are their feelings for you now? And we're going to compare those and see have their feelings changed, and if so, how. We're going to see why they went no contact, what they would say to you right now if they were being completely open and honest with you. And then we're going to finish off with a message or advice from your guides about this connection. And then in the extended reading, we're going to see, will your person reach out? And if so, what would they say to you? What will they say to you when they reach out? If we see that they are not likely to reach out, then we'll ask Spirit whether you should take action, whether you should reach out to them, or maybe Spirit is going to be taking some sort of action to help the two of you out. And then we're going to see what's next in this connection with your person and when is that going to happen. So that is everything for the reading today. I did want to mention to you guys, as I'm doing your group, I have my phone like right beside me because there is an important phone call coming hopefully soon that I cannot miss. And I thought that that might be a sign for this group, like maybe that's something that you have done at some point in this connection where you keep your phone close by because you want to be alerted right away when this person messages you. Maybe you keep the sound on your phone because like you don't want to miss any messages from them. Or at some point you could have been like, you know, constantly checking, did they message me? Did they watch my story? Did they open my Snap or whatever it is? Like checking a lot to make sure you didn't miss anything from them. I thought that maybe me having my phone right here was like relevant to this group, but let's get into your energy check. So we're going to take a look at these Oracle and Tarot cards to see the energy of the connection to your person. Whoop, we are starting off with this is not a phase. Then, oh, we have soulmate. Yes, this person is your soulmate. Well, there we go. There is a strong spiritual bond between you and this person. This card also pertains to new friendships with kindred souls and attracting the right people. Look at how cute these pigeons are together. Eiffel Tower in the background, which could be significant. Then we have I miss the good old days. And the timing just wasn't right. Then for our tarot cards, we have the Five of Pentacles and 333 on the camera timer as I'm holding up this card. And then we have the Two of Cups. Okay. Your spirit guides are laying it on pretty thick with the soulmate message. We have a literal soulmate card that says, yes, this is your soulmate. So wanting to reaffirm this to you, wanting to confirm this to you. And then we have the Two of Cups, which is a soulmate card. So that is pretty clear. Thank you to group number 2's spiritual team for being so clear. Another thing I want to point out, we do have some Cancer energy here with the Two of Cups, and we have Taurus, yes, Taurus energy here with the Five of Pentacles. So those could be your sign or your person's sign, or like Taurus season or Cancer season could be relevant, like maybe when you met this person. And more specifically, this is Mercury in Taurus and Venus in Cancer. So if someone has both of those placements, which is possible, that could be very cool. Let me know if you or your person has both of those placements. What I see in terms of the energy of this connection, there is a feeling of right person, wrong time. With this, the timing just wasn't right. But I also feel like for this group, if you chose this group, I think it has been a long time since you have spoken to this person, or maybe it's been a long time since you've seen them in person, or just overall, it's been a long time since things were like good and happy between the two of you. There's also a feeling of the time that you have been missing this person and longing for this person maybe feels disproportionate to the amount of time that you were together or the amount of time that you have known them. So for example, for some of you, this might be someone that you dated for a couple months. Maybe you dated this person for, let's say, 2 months, And now you've been broken up for 6 months and you still really, really long for them and still really miss them. And so there's that feeling of like, the time that I've missed you is way longer than the time we were even together. Like, what's up with that? Or maybe you only just had one or a couple brief encounters. Maybe you met this person on a trip to Paris and you can't stop thinking about them. Or maybe, oh man, I was gonna give another example. But basically, it's like, why do I feel for you so deeply? Or why do I feel for you still after all this time, given the actual length of time that we were together, or the actual length of time that we were talking? It feels disproportionate, I think, to your logical mind, and I think it feels quite deep and intense. I think there's really a feeling of missing this person, and with this is not a phase, that also makes me think of there's a difficulty of moving on. You know, it's like, even after all this time, I still feel this way. Maybe people have told you, oh, it was only a couple months, you'll get over it, or there are other fish in the sea, or whatever it might be. And your soul is like, no, this is the fish. Like, there's no other fish for me. It feels like it's not something that you can just let go of so easily, although you may have tried. With this 5 of Pentacles and 2 of Cups, these could definitely be representing two energies that exist within you, where sometimes you feel optimistic and hopeful about this connection, and other times you feel pessimistic about it. But this could also be representing like the energies of each of you in this connection, where one of you really is like a hopeless romantic, believes in soulmates, believes in true love, wants to make things work. And the other person is more pessimistic about love and more easily would accept defeat. I also think there could be a difference between the two of you, where one of you is of the belief that if we love each other and if we continue to show love and respect for each other, everything will just fall into place. That's like the romantic, you know? As long as we love each other, as long as we have love, everything else is going to work out. We'll get through anything together. Whereas another one of you could be more of the practical, like, love is not enough to make things work. Feelings are not enough to make things work. And this person is more concerned about, you know, financial issues could come into play, physical distance could come into play, whether our families get along could come into play. They kind of think about and worry more about those other factors and think that just love itself is not enough. And then this other person over here is like, no, love is all we need. Because it feels like there's this really like optimistic, idealistic energy, and then there's this defeated, discouraged, pessimistic energy. And again, these could both be conflicting energies that exist within you. Sometimes you feel like this, sometimes you feel like that. Or it could be, you know, one of you is one way, one of you is another way. But this, I think this is what I'm seeing. Like, it was just laid out very straightforwardly for me, so I feel like I don't have to dig very deep. But, also with 2 and 5, these could be like someone's birthday, May 2nd. Oh my gosh, imagine you're born May 2nd and you have a Taurus Mercury and a Cancer Venus. That would be crazy. Or it could be February 5th. 2 and 5 could also be life path numbers, life path 2, life path 5, or they could be an age gap. You could have an age gap of 2, 5, or 3 years. So if this sounds like your connection, then keep watching. If not, you might want to try listening to another group. But I am going to have a sip of my drink. And we are going to get into the tarot now to dive deeper into what's going on with your person. So the first thing we want to see is, how did your person feel about you when you were together or when you were still talking? What were their feelings for you then? And how does it compare to their current feelings? How did group number 2's person feel about them in the past when they were still involved with each other? we have the Page of Cups. And how do they feel now? Wow, there's a lot of cards that are, it's like they're trying to come out, but they don't. Wow, we have the Ace of Cups. Group number 2, I don't know if you could see it because maybe when I was holding the deck, it was kind of out of the frame. But when I was shuffling for this Ace of Cups, first, I just saw 1122 by the way. First, there was one card that like flipped over but didn't come out. And then there was another card that it came out and kind of balanced like this, but it didn't fall out. So it was like these things trying to come out, but they couldn't. And let me just be clear right from the get-go with this Ace of Cups, your person still has feelings for you. Like your person still loves you, your person still cares about you. It's the freaking Ace of Cups. And I think they really want you to be happy and really want the best for you. I do think that in some ways they are in denial or trying to suppress how strongly they feel about you because of those cards that it's like they were poking out, but they couldn't come out all the way. So it feels like their emotions for you are kind of stifled right now, whether they are doing this consciously or unconsciously. It could be something that both of you guys are doing, because there was that feeling of I'm trying to move on, but it's just I can't get over this. Like I miss us. I miss the times we used to have. You know, when you look at this Ace of Cups, it's absolutely flowing in all directions. I really do think that this person's heart is still overflowing with love for you. But are they aware of it? It's like they're either unaware of it or they're very much aware and actively suppressing it. And maybe we'll get into that later. But yes, there is still a lot of love here. I'm also noticing that we have a dove, and doves and pigeons are the same bird. So doves or pigeons could be a significant sign, especially if you see two of them together like this, like two little pigeons sitting on a phone wire or something cute like that. That could be a sign of you and your soulmate. Also, fish could be a significant spirit animal, especially goldfish or like koi fish. And again, especially if you see two of them together, that's you and your soulmate's higher self. I definitely think that your higher selves are in a lot of communication, and you probably see signs of the two of you together everywhere. I mean, even all of your cards that have images on them, two pigeons together, a couple together, a couple together. Even there's two angels here. It's like signs of you and your soulmate's higher self seem to appear in pairs. You will see symbols of like the two of you together everywhere. Why am I thinking of, I don't know if you guys have seen this before. It's really, really cute, but it was these pictures that were like going around on the internet, and it's this crow couple, a couple of crows, and I think it's the female crow who lost her beak, and so the male crow like feeds her food with his beak into her little mouth hole, and it's really, really cute. And that just reminded me of you and your person right now. I'm sorry if that's kind of weird, but I just thought I would mention that. And here I go making sure that I didn't miss the call. Okay, anyway. Yeah, the love is still here, the feelings are still here. I hope that this doesn't sound weird, but I feel like even if you or your person ever one day did move on and were like with someone else, I feel like there would kind of always be a place for each other in your hearts. But how they felt for you in the past with this Page of Cups, there was love here too. There was love here too. This feels a little bit more like a puppy love, and honestly with the timing just wasn't right. It maybe was that you were too young, or they were too young, or you both were too young, because with the Page of Cups there's a feeling of I was naive, you know, the emotions were there, but I didn't have enough life experience, or I didn't have a good enough head on my shoulders to really treasure this connection in the way I wanted to. There's a feeling of we were too young, or I was too naive, or I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to cherish people. I didn't know how to have a healthy relationship, or I still needed to figure my life out. It's an example of this would be high school sweethearts who then move really, really far away to go to college and then pursue really different life paths. And it's like, I wish we could have met when we were adults and we like had our lives settled so that life wouldn't pull us apart like this. Or I wish we had met later in life when we knew what we were doing and when our brains were fully developed. Like there could be something like that for you guys, like being too young, being too naive, or maybe there was a feeling of like, oh, if we love each other, it's just going to be fine. And then maybe not enough work was done. For example, someone thinking, oh, if I love them, then that's enough. But not realizing that everybody feels love in different ways. Everybody has different love languages. So you can't just say like, oh, I love that person and expect them to feel loved or expect them to receive that love properly. You still need to put in work. You still need to work on the most effective ways of communicating with each other. Like there's still a lot of, practical effort that needs to be made. Interesting. Maybe this person is realizing it's not just love that is enough. I think if these two energies could balance and work together, it would be really beautiful. Like, yes, we should put in work and we should think about other factors that come into play in our relationship. But we should also know that if we do love and respect each other, whatever difficulties are thrown our way, like we're gonna figure it out because we're gonna work together. And maybe when you guys were involved, these energies were not really balanced. We were maybe too idealistic, too like love will just find a way, or maybe we were too worried about the challenges that were presented to us, too worried about the external factors. Just too young, or like not enough life experience, not enough thinking things through. That's kind of the feeling. But yeah, the love is definitely still here. Like freaking, are you kidding me? Ace of Cups, Two of Cups, Page of Cups, soulmate. Oh my gosh, it could not be more clear. So let's see. I mean, have their feelings changed? No, they have not. This person, they might have had an experience recently that just rekindled their feelings for you all over again. I thought I had moved on. I thought I was doing fine, but then maybe they saw a picture of you, or they found an old conversation with you, or something reminded them of you, and it all just like came flooding back. There's an idea of their feelings flooding or overflowing. I'm just looking at the list. So why is there no contact between the two of you? Oh my God, it's another soulmate card. The Six of Cups. Okay. So we have some Scorpio energy here as well. Scorpio sun. And the Nine of Cups. Wow. So overwhelmingly, we have a ton of water energy. So the two of you could be water signs, or one of you has a lot of freaking water in their chart. The season of summer could be significant, or this could just be indicating that there's really, really strong emotions between the two of you. It's also likely with all of this water that the two of you share a pretty intense psychic connection. Even just looking at how this person is sitting in a meditative position and there's all these cups. It's like, looks like it's branching out from their crown chakra. I do think that both of you have You know, this is Scorpio, this is Pisces, both. I mean, all water signs are psychic, but yeah, there's a really strong spiritual and psychic connection that exists here. And I honestly think that, you know, it's funny these cards come out when we're asking why is there no contact between the two of you, because your spiritual team is saying there is. You're always in contact with this person through, maybe just not in the 3D sense, but just know that you're not like out of contact with this person at all. You and your higher self and their higher self are constantly talking. I think you just might dismiss or not pay attention to the messages, but every little sign you see that makes you think of them, that is them. Every little message you receive that makes you think of them, that is them. It's funny because I feel like you might downplay the messages you receive, like, oh, that's just in my head, but actually there's a lot more communication coming from this person's higher self than you even think. So let's say you saw 10 signs in a day of this person, and you're like, okay, let's not be silly. Maybe like one of them was a sign and the rest of them are just in my head. And your spiritual team is saying, no, all of those 10 signs were them. And also there were like 10 more that you didn't notice or that you ignored. It's a lot more than you realize. You may also be in contact with this person in the astral plane when you're asleep, but it's just happening in a dream that you can't remember. It's like honestly more than you realize, and it's happening at a subconscious level. I think the link that your souls share is just very, 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 very close. Looking at these two children, I know this sounds very intense and dramatic, but it's like in the very, very early days of your soul, it looks like you made this offering to each other. You made this pact with each other that we're gonna stick around each other, we're gonna find each other. And that's kind of like since your inception, you have made this promise to each other. So there, you are not in a no contact situation. There is no way that you could be. You are always in contact. Of course, I understand that what we want to see in this reading is why is there no 3D contact? So I'm going to pull an extra card, but I think your spiritual team just really wanted you to know this. With the Six of Cups, I do definitely think that this person thinks about their past with you a lot. They think about it very fondly with this Nine of Cups, and I do see that they desire to reconnect with you. That is a wish of theirs. And they also very much do see and pick up on signs of you. So we have established very, very firmly that there is 5D contact happening all the time. As for why there is no 3D contact, and this like flew out of the deck onto the floor, and it's the Tower. That's a very towery way for a card to come out. So it could be that for some of you, this could be that when things, that's a text from Madison, aka ASO. When it could be that when things did end between you, there was a bit of an outburst of emotions. It could have been quite intense, and it could be difficult to come back from that. There could have been words exchanged that we didn't mean, or things just got quite heated. Going back to being like too young or too immature, I'm thinking of, again, high school sweethearts that maybe are still not very good at expressing their emotions or still have some stuff that they're working through. And then maybe they broke up over a huge fight that they had where they both said some really not nice things, and it got quite intense. And now that time has passed and we're older and we're more mature, we look back and we're like, man, that was a lot. Like, it's hard to come back from that, maybe after such harsh things were said. I'm also thinking of, when you're a teenager and you're really mad at your parents and you're like, I hate you, and you slam the door, and it's like, you don't hate them. you're just full of emotions, like it's gonna be okay. I feel like there was an intensity or like an anger or a harshness that came with your last interaction that it just makes it hard to come back and address. It's like, what do I mention it? Do I not mention it? Do I come back like everything's okay? Or do I bring up what happened? I don't know if bringing it up is going to make them more upset, or if acting like nothing happened is going to make them more upset. It's like the note that things ended on could have made things a little bit awkward or uncomfortable to like reclose the gap. There is another interpretation with the Tower, which it could be things that are out of their control, and that's why they're not reaching out to you. You know, the Tower, this looks like an accident. It looks like something is getting wiped out. Just a silly example of this, but maybe someone dropped their phone in the ocean. It's like some accident happened that was out of their control that actually makes it not possible for them to reach out to you. Like they somehow lost your number or lost your contact information, or have some wrong information that you don't want to hear from them. But yeah, it looks like things kind of ended on a hard note with this Tower card. For whatever reason, they could think that like they don't have a chance anymore. They could think, because you know, once this Tower gets knocked down, you can't really knock it. Like it's hard to build things back up. They may be thinking that it's just destroyed, that it's past the point of repair, or maybe they think that you're with someone else, or maybe you are with someone else, I don't know. But they could also just have the idea in their head that like things can't be patched up, if that makes sense. They could also just fear the intensity. There's a lot of ways to interpret this Tower card, because the Tower is very, very intense. They could fear, like, if they open up this can of worms again, the can of worms that is their feelings for you, that they're just not ready for the intensity of stuff that will come out. It might just be too much for them right now, especially if they're going through other things in their life that are taxing. It's like, man, I can't open up this. Is Pandora's box the right word? Like, I can't open up this can of worms from the past right now. It's just too intense. Okay, so next we are going to see what would they say to you right now if they were completely honest. What would number 2's person say to them right now if they were completely honest? We have the Page of Crystals, which I think this is it's the Page of Swords. Okay, we have the Page of Swords, we have the Moon and Strength. I think they would tell you that they dream a lot about you with this Moon card here, or they could think about you at night. You could be like their late night thoughts when they're alone. There could also be a particular night that you spent together, something that happened between the two of you at night that they think about a lot. And even now, when they like accomplish something in their life, or when they make something, I think even now they wonder what you would think of it. Would you be proud of them? So for example, if they got a promotion at work, there's like a little part of them that wonders if you would be happy for them, if you would be proud of them, Or if they wrote a book, for example, they might wish like that you could read their book and wish that they could know what you think about it. They often think about what you would think about them and the person they've become and what they're doing now. I think they often play out scenarios in their head as well of running into you again, or what would it be like if we didn't break up, if we didn't part ways? What kind of life could we be living right now? They like to think, oh my gosh, it's the phone call. Okay, I am back. So I do think with the moon though, this card also talks about delusions. So I think at times your person might feel delusional, that they still think about you this way and like think about what your life together could be. And I think that there's also a part of them that wonders, maybe I'm overly romanticizing this connection, and you know, it's all nice when I fantasize about it and it can be whatever I want in my imagination, but maybe if we got back together it wouldn't be the same. And maybe it's best to just keep it as like a sweet memory, or to just keep it as like a fantasy. Maybe it's delusional for me to think that things would be the same, that things could be like the scenarios that I imagine. And you know, strength, there is a feeling again of like holding back your emotions. So it's almost like they'll go through phases of really like fantasizing about you and longing for you and playing out these scenarios in their head, and then they kind of catch themselves like, okay, we're getting a little bit delusional, or like we can't keep holding on to this memory because it's stopping us from living in the moment and experiencing other things in life. And maybe it comes like waves, or maybe there's just these kind of conflicting energies within them. And maybe you guys can relate to this, but I do think with the strength card, well, first of all, with the moon card, again, you have a very strong psychic connection. There is no doubt about that. And I was gonna say, I don't think anything could ever make this psychic connection go away. But honestly, I don't know if that's what you guys want to hear. You might actually want this psychic connection to go away so that you can get on with your life. But I feel like at least for the foreseeable future, it is continuing on pretty strong. And this card, just my personal interpretation of it, is like your souls are best friends, which I mean, we knew that. We knew that your connection is infinite. So I think if they were being really honest with you, they would just kind of swallow their pride and tell you all of this stuff, because the Page of Swords is it's just blunt. It's just blunt and to the point. And the fact that it's coming through as a page, for me, this represents like a humbleness, a swallowing of their pride. They're like, I know that I might sound crazy if I tell you all this. If I tell you that like I'm still dreaming about you and I still think about what our life could have been and blah, 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 like I'm fully aware that I could come off as crazy. I'm fully aware that you're maybe completely moved on, that you might reject me, that you might say you don't think the same things and feel the same things. So I'm just like humbling myself and I'm just gonna spit it all out. Yeah, that's what they would do if they were completely truthful. And also looking at these tornadoes, like this whirlwind, I feel like there's just so much that they want to say to you that if they were just being completely honest, they would probably send you a really, really long letter or a really, really long text message or like a really long email. Like there's so much that they want to say to you. Or maybe they would call you and talk to you for hours. Like it would just blah, like word vomit out of them. The last thing, which we're going to check the bottom of the deck for, is messages and advice from your spirit guides about this connection. And we have Temperance, which is a card that makes me think of divine counterparts. I mean, how many times do we need to see this? Is this what your everyday is like, group number 2? Like, do you just go around with these signs and messages coming to you all the time? And I wonder what that's like, because I mean, if you're not trying to be bombarded with all this stuff, I feel like it could be a lot. I do hope that it brings you joy. I do hope that it reminds you of your connection, and that, you know, you find peace and happiness in being close to your person and feeling the love. But damn, group number 2, this is a lot. There's a lot of messages about like just affirming the connection over and over. I do think that both you and this soul, the soul of your person, are old souls, and I think you've had a lot of lives together in human forms, in non-human forms, in non-physical forms, in other dimensions, other timelines, other universes. Temperance makes me think of some like a soul that's really been everywhere and seen it all. I think you've been through some really, really good times together and some really, really terrible, shitty, hard times together. You've been all over the spectrum. And this is just another little snapshot in your extensive history together. I think maybe there's a piece of advice from your guides to zoom out. You may be really, really zoomed into this one human life that you're having right now that is just like a blip in your existence as a soul. It's like when you zoom out and remember that Earth is just a little blue speck in a vast, vast, vast universe. It kind of puts your problems back into perspective. And I feel like if there's any hang-ups you have about this connection, anything that makes you feel discouraged, anything that makes you feel doomed, that makes you feel insecure, anything you feel is holding you back, maybe just zooming out and remembering how big you are and how big and long this connection has been. It will help you almost to take what you feel is holding you back less seriously. With temperance and strength here, though, I also think there's a message of just patience and letting things unfold naturally. Temperance often makes me think of a divine counterpart journey where a lot of other journeys are woven into it. So your career journey, like the journey to discovering your calling, your journey to self-love, your journey to healing, your journey to developing your psychic and spiritual gifts. Temperance makes me think of this beautiful, elaborate tapestry that is your life, where like all of your journeys are kind of woven in together and like intrinsically linked to each other. So it's kind of inevitable that as you work on yourself and work on your life in other areas, you are also working on this union. Because entangled is not the right word. They're like woven together like that. You progress in all areas of your life together. Yeah. Patience, allowing things to flow naturally, and zooming out, looking at the bigger picture, not taking yourself or this life or even this connection in this lifetime so seriously. Because it's just a little speck of your whole existence together. And maybe for some of you, that's a sign to not hold back anymore, or like to just do what you want because this life is short. I mean, you can take that in many different ways, right? If you're being told that like this life is not that serious, it's just, and I don't mean that to like belittle your life, and I think you guys know that, but it's like, this is not your last life, it's not your only life. You are more than just this human. So with that knowledge, you might say, okay, screw it, I'm gonna reach out to this person, I'm gonna tell them how I feel because life is too short. Or you might get that information and say, okay, then I'm just gonna be with someone else for this lifetime because this connection is just too much. It's too intense for me. I don't feel like being on this journey anymore, and I'm gonna free myself. So there's no right or wrong way to take that message, but I think there's a piece of advice from your guides to zoom out a little bit and remember that this one lifetime isn't the be all end all of everything. Yeah. So I think, yeah, those are all the messages for my group number 2s. I wanted to wait until the end to tell you guys this, but the phone call that came, it was from an institution. They couldn't help me in the way that I wanted them to, but it's okay because we ended our contract and I'm just gonna try somewhere else and it's gonna be good. So at least I got closure. I know that it's not gonna work here. I'm gonna go somewhere else and it's gonna work there. And I feel like refreshed. I feel like the weight is off my shoulders. I know what's gonna happen. Didn't work out with them, but everything's gonna be fine. So I just thought I'd mention that in case it's relevant to you guys, or, you know, gives you any insights if you think it's related to your reading. But anyway, we're gonna take it over to the extended now, and in the extended we're gonna see, will your person reach out to you? And if we see that yes they will, then we will ask, what will they say? If we see that no they won't, then we will ask, should you be the one to take action then, or is maybe spirit gonna take some action to help the two of you? Then we're gonna see what is next, what's the next development within this connection, and when is that going to happen. So if that sounds like it will be of interest to you and you'd like to join me in the extended reading, I'm gonna have that link down below in the description of this video, as well as in the pinned comment. However, if you're gonna leave the reading here, I wanna say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm gonna have linked down below my tarot Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch exclusive timeless pick a card videos just like these ones, except for you get to choose the topic. I will have my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song, and you can also check out my latest release linked down below. And then finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. So all of that stuff that I just mentioned is going to be linked down below for you in the description, as well as in the pinned comment of this video. Thank you so much for supporting me and for supporting my channel. It means so much to me. And just thank you for being here, my beautiful, lovely group number 2s and your beautiful, lovely counterpart. I'm sending both of you so much love. All the love, and I'm sending love to your higher selves and to your spirit guides, your whole spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 3s. So if you guys chose the Kyanite and the Tarot Disassembled, this is going to be a reading all about your no contact or separation situation. So I'm going to show you guys the full breakdown of the reading that we're going to do today. We have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. And here on YouTube, we're going to start with an energy check just to make sure that this is your group. I will describe the energy of this connection. It could be the energy that you had before things went no contact, or it could be the current energy. But if it sounds like the connection that you are in, then that's your sign that this is your group. Once we do the energy check, then we're going to see, how did your person feel about you when you were together or when you were talking? And how does that compare to how they feel about you currently? And have their feelings changed? And if so, how? Then we are going to see, what is the reason for going no contact? What would they say to you if they were completely open and honest with you? And then we are going to finish off the reading with a message and advice from your spirit guides about this connection. And then in the extended, what we're going to see is, will your person reach out to you? And if we see that they will, then we will ask spirit what they're going to say when they reach out. If we see that they won't, then we'll ask spirit whether you should take action, whether you should make a move towards them, or maybe spirit is going to be taking some action to help the two of you out. And then we will finish by seeing what is coming next, what's the future of this connection, and when. So we'll get a specific timing prediction for the future of this connection. So that is everything for today's reading. We're going to start off with the energy check to make sure that this is your group. So to do that, I have these oracle cards and these tarot cards. So for our oracle card, we have Rise and Rise Again, spirit guides with the number 1111. Your spirit guides are watching over your current love situation. Pay attention to repeating signs. This card also means that you are protected and it's safe for you to love. Then we have, it was just a small bump in the road. And I didn't message you by mistake. And then for your tarot cards, we have the Six of Cups and the Magician. Okay. Now, I feel like these two tarot cards, like sometimes I would feel inclined to do it in a person A, person B style, but I actually feel that these are both kind of representing both of you. The first thing that I want to say is that the two of you manifested each other into your lives. Like, that is very clear. What I can say is that I think maybe for one of you, it was more of a conscious effort. Like, one of you was saying, I want to manifest a love interest. I want to manifest my soulmate. I want to manifest a person like X, Y, and Z into my life. And then for the other one of you, I feel like it was more an unconscious thing, that you were just a vibrational match to this connection. But the fact that you came into each other's lives, it is a manifestation of both of you. Like, you both drew each other in. I think a very strong feature of this connection is the number of signs and synchronicities that are involved in it. So signs and synchronicities that popped up before meeting each other, that popped up on the day that you met, that pop up whenever you think about each other. Both of your spirit guides are always talking to you and trying to give you some messages about this connection. You were meant to come into each other's lives. You manifested each other. And there's an important purpose for this connection. I think that both of you have had experiences that are kind of freaky, like bumping into each other, maybe seeing an angel number, and then it's at that exact moment that this person messages you, or you're having a thought about this person and then a song comes up on your shuffle and the words of the song are like exactly what you were just thinking about, or even seems to be an answer from your person's higher self. It just seems like there's a lot of weird synchronistic things that happen between the two of you. And I'm being shown that both of you have manifested communication from each other. So like, you would be thinking about them and then poop, like a text message from them pops up. Or like, they would be thinking about you and a text message pops up from you. And so your guides are saying it's very likely that when you think, or maybe this is before no contact, but like when you would think to send them a message, it's because they were thinking about you and you picked up on that. So they kind of manifested that message from you and vice versa. Like, you thinking about them manifested them texting you. And maybe some of you guys did this consciously, like you were trying to manifest messages from each other, but I feel like it even happens inadvertently. You may have even had moments in this connection where you're like, oh my gosh, why am I thinking about them so much? And it's because they're thinking about you and they're manifesting you, and vice versa. You have this pull on each other because of the intensity of your thoughts towards each other and because of your conscious or unconscious manifestations. But yeah, with this Six of Cups image, you know, this person's eyes are closed and the person is behind them with flowers. I feel like within this connection, it's like your energy just seems to find each other over and over again, even when you're not expecting it, especially with this rise and rise again. Sure, there may be times where you consciously manifested them or consciously manifested communication from them or a sign, but I feel like more often than not, it's just completely out of the blue. You're not even really trying to think about them or trying to get something from them, and they just pop up again and again and again. when you don't expect it. This might be the type of connection where they like pop up in every reading that you do for yourself or every reading that you watch, even if it's not on a relationship topic. With these two cards, there's just a feeling of them being everywhere to you and of you being everywhere to them. And this might even be something that is continuing on even after you've gone no contact. There may be moments where things quiet down, where you kind of move on from each other or maybe stop thinking about each other, but it just feels like you always come back. And I feel with this Spirit Guides card, it's because your guides continue to bring you to each other. Like, there's a reason your guides want you to have some kind of relationship. They want you to be in each other's lives. They want you to learn something together, or they want you to fulfill some purpose together. And I feel like until that is fulfilled, your guides will keep bringing you back to each other. And I also think that the two of you will just continue to like inadvertently manifest each other, because deep down, whether it's conscious or not, you are thinking about each other a lot. With I didn't message you by mistake, this could be very literal. There maybe have been times where this person tried to play it off that they messaged you by mistake, or that they just happened to, you know, pop up where you are, or make their communication to you seem more casual than it actually is. I think also your spirit guides want you to know, like, I don't put these signs in your path by mistake, or I didn't show you that dream by mistake. It's not just random stuff that is happening. It's not just coincidences. It's not, you know, it might seem that way because it comes so out of the blue, but there is a deeper meaning to everything that is happening. And I feel like I wanted to say something else with this I didn't message you by mistake, but it's not coming to me right now. If it's important, it will come back. But yeah, I think the biggest theme of this connection is just like signs and synchronicities everywhere. We manifested each other, but we do it even when we're not trying to. You know, you're thinking about me because I'm thinking about you, and that's pulling on your energy, and vice versa. And our energies will just keep meeting until we fulfill what we're supposed to fulfill. Like, this feels quite fated. It's no mistake. So if this sounds like the connection you're experiencing, then keep watching. If not, you might want to try listening to another group, but we are going to get into your tarot now. And the first thing that we want to see is, how did your person feel about you when you were still together or when you were still in contact versus how they feel about you now? And we'll see what has changed, if anything. Oh, I also want to mention, we have Scorpio energy with the Six of Cups, more specifically the Sun in Scorpio. And then with the Magician, this is Mercury energy. So Gemini and Virgo could also be significant zodiac signs. It could also be that one of you has Mercury in Gemini, Mercury in Virgo, Mercury in Scorpio. Could be Mercury in Leo as well, because this card is related to the Sun. That would be cool if like one of you guys is a Virgo with Mercury in Leo. Okay. Group number threes. How does group number three's person, how did they feel about them before going no contact? How did group number three's person feel about them? I'm hearing confused, which makes sense. Like, why is all of this happening? When they were in contact, when they were together, when they were in each other's lives. Some of you guys, you might be in like a minimal contact situation. Like, this person might You might have minimal interactions, whether it's just like, you know, you comment on one of their posts and they like it, or you text them and they, you know, put a little heart on it, or they watch your story. I feel like for many of you, it's not completely no contact, or something like this will happen soon. That they're not necessarily like replying to you or reaching out to you, but they're just showing up in little ways that you can see they're checking up on you, or that they've seen what you're doing, or they've seen what you sent. I'm also just getting the feeling that you're gonna bump into each other again. It's not really gonna be planned by either of you. Oh my gosh, we have the 2 of Cups and the 7 of Cups. So when you guys were together, they definitely had feelings for you. We have 2 soulmate cards. So what I want to say with these is that I think they had feelings for you to an extent that they had never experienced before. And that was very special to them. They had never felt so, I'm hearing like head over heels. They had never felt so completely head over heels for someone. You brought out a soft spot in them that they didn't really show before. So just for one example, let's say they never really did things like buying their partner flowers or writing their partner cheesy love notes. They never really did that kind of thing, or like calling their partner by a sweet nickname. But then when they were involved with you, they started to do more of those soft or cutesy or romantic things that it's not that it's out of their character. I think maybe they just never felt like in a comfortable place to do that, or you just awakened something in them that they want to do those things. I'm also hearing if there was a period in your connection where they texted you very, very frequently and stayed in very frequent communication, that is also not really something that they did before. So like, for example, if in the start of your connection, they were, you know, texting you every day and sending you good morning texts, or they were FaceTiming you, that's not something that they did in their previous connections. And again, it's not that it's like, it felt unnatural for them or anything. It's just that they never really felt the desire to do that with someone else, I guess. So it was kind of a first for them, like being in such close and frequent communication. I do think with this 7 of Cups here, at the start of your connection, or when you were like in communication, they might have idolized you a little bit, like put you on a pedestal, or they overly romanticized the relationship in general. For some of you, and I think this really is for some of you, but there's a message that they may have leaned into all the sweetness and getting really, really close to you because they were trying to escape something else in their life that was kind of making them sad or depressed, and they like didn't want to think about it. So for example, if they were having issues with their family or in their friend group, or having issues at work, they really leaned into just like loving you and being really, really into you and doing all these sweet things for you. Not because they didn't mean it, but I think, and it's beautiful, right? If that made them feel better. I just feel like maybe they leaned into it a bit too much, to the point that they were even doing it to escape other things that weren't going well in their life, if that makes sense. And I don't think that that's fair to you, and I don't like think that was good for either of you. That's just for some of you, but I do get a feeling of kind of idolizing with this 7 of Cups, or even projecting idealized traits onto you. So maybe there was like a honeymoon phase where things were really, really good, but then, you know, when you started to like disagree with them on things, or speak up about things, or not be into what they were doing, and like challenging them in some ways, they kind of had a moment of like, wait a minute, this isn't the idealized person that I projected onto you. Like they maybe kind of overlaid some traits onto you that weren't there, or maybe you did that to them. The 7 of Cups is also making me think it's kind of like delusional. I think it looks like a honeymoon phase that in itself is beautiful, but we maybe like took that too far or got carried away with it, or expected the whole connection to just be like that honeymoon phase. And then when things started to pop up that weren't honeymoon phasey, it kind of broke the illusion. Let's see how they feel about you now. How does group number 3's person feel about them now? Wow, we have the Lovers, and that fell out really quickly. It kind of just like fell out of the bottom. It's interesting though that are there any people in this card? I don't think so. They still think of you in that way. I want to say that this person is still very attracted to you. They still think of you in a romantic way or in an intimate way. And because, like we were talking about before in the beginning part of the reading, because they think about you so much, it does send that energy your way. So if you're wondering why you can't stop thinking about this person and why you're seeing so many signs, I do think a part of it is just because of how much they still think about you. I'm also hearing, and this will depend like how long you've been in separation, but for some of you, like other people that they have met since you, they kind of inevitably compare them to you because you are like the ideal in their mind. So maybe there is still a little bit of pedestal action going on, of like idealization going on. I have a weird sensation of like food cooking, which I don't know if that's relevant. Maybe there's like a restaurant that you guys used to go to and like the smell of the food would cling onto your clothes. I'm thinking of like a Korean barbecue, honestly, or like somewhere where they like you grill things close to you and then the smell gets on your clothes. It could also be that they have cooked for you at some point, or you have cooked for them, and it meant a lot to them that they could have that experience. They may even think about things that they want to do, like to be a better partner for you. Like they would want to cook for you, they would want to get you flowers, they would want to do that kind of homey thing for you. So they still definitely think about you and imagine what your future could be like together quite a bit. You are the reference, you are the blueprint for their ideal partner, for sure. And I think with the Lovers here, there's still a feeling that they talk about you to other people in their life. They might talk to their friends about what happened, or even talk to I'm hearing specifically their mom, which is maybe just for some of you, but talk to their friends, their family, people in their life. This is for very, very few of you, but I have to say it. For some of you, your person has gone on to some kind of forum, I don't know, like Reddit or something, and anonymously asked for advice about your connection, or just ask for people's opinion about what happened between the two of you. It feels like they may be going to other people for things that they could talk to you about, you know? So for example, they might go to their friends and be like, oh my gosh, I think I messed things up with so-and-so, what should I do? And getting their advice when they really should be talking to you. And when they see anything related to love, if one of their friends is getting married, they think about you. If they're watching a movie and there's like a couple kissing, they think about you. It's like things related to love, connections, intimacy, they inevitably just, their mind goes to you. So I think, yeah, it looks like the feelings are still there. I think that, yeah, there was a situation of like over idolizing you or using the connection as a form of escapism. I think they just kind of had, they were putting unrealistic expectations on the connection. And when the connection was just real and human, they kind of fell off from that place up in the clouds. And maybe it was something that, you know, could have been fixed or can be fixed if they just talk to you. So let's see why there is no contact between the two of you, in the 3D at least, because, you know, you're sending each other telepathic messages clearly with this Lover's card. You're sending each other signs. Your guides are talking to each other. I feel like your guides and their guides are talking. Like, what do we do? What do we do about this? Why is there no contact in the 3D? Okay, we have the Knight of Pentacles. Oh! Oh, I'm happy to see this actually. Oh, and we have the Four of Wands. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this person definitely wants to be with you in the long term. The reason that they're not contacting you right now, we have the Knight of Pentacles. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. And the reason I said I'm actually happy to see it is because sometimes in relationship readings, the Knight of Pentacles is not great. It's like, oh my gosh, this person is taking forever to make changes and blah, blah, blah. But I'm super happy to see this because in this context, it's coming through as like a stable and steady and constructive energy and a very self-aware energy. What this tells me about your person, group number 3, is that at this current time, they're actually starting to develop. Oh my gosh, I love this. And there's like a sun in the sky and the Lover's card. Okay. They're starting to develop a self-awareness about how they behaved or what they projected or their unhealthy way of looking at the connection. They're developing a self-awareness about that, and they're in the process of releasing it. And with this Lover's card, I do feel like in this present moment, at the time that you're watching this reading, there are some unhealthy thought patterns and like ways of thinking of you that they are still doing, but with awareness. So, and I'm just thinking of, it was like a tweet that I saw, and it said, like, there's a very big difference between playing out an unhealthy habit with awareness or without awareness, or like repeating a negative pattern with awareness or without awareness. If you're doing it without awareness, then the negative pattern is continuing to reinforce itself. But if you're doing it with awareness, then that negative pattern is in the process of being released. So, for example, maybe you have an unhealthy negative pattern of judging yourself and beating yourself up. In the process of healing that and letting that go, you're still gonna do it. It's just that now you're doing it with awareness of, okay, I see myself doing this pattern. Like, I understand what's going on here. And when you do that without awareness, your brain just takes it as a normal thing that you're doing. And so it will just reinforce itself even more. But it's like your brain can have those thoughts. Now you're just detaching from it and observing it. And that pattern that you're repeating, it's already on its way out. I really hope that that makes sense. Probably the tweet explained it better. But it just takes time to break the habit, you know? So it's like they'll have these thoughts where they're putting you on a pedestal, where they're comparing people to you or whatever it is, and they catch themselves in it, which is amazing, right? Because it's not something that they're just unconsciously doing and reinforcing that negative pattern. They're like, I need to stop doing this, and I need to stop projecting some like fantasy ideal that doesn't exist onto a living, breathing human being. Like, they're catching themselves in these patterns. And the Knight of Pentacles has come out because they're working on themselves. That's what came out really, really strongly. And so I do think that them not contacting you right now, it is a deliberate choice, because they're saying, no, I need to work on myself. I need to heal these unhealthy thought patterns that I have, because I saw how they got in the way last time I was with person 3, last time I was with group 3, and I want to be in a healthy place. I don't want to repeat this cycle anymore. So I'm going to work on my mind. I'm working on my mind. I'm going to work on my body. They could be focused on their career. And that's the other beautiful thing. They're focusing on the areas of their life that they're not satisfied with. Because I think they recognized when there was something in their life that they weren't satisfied with, it could have put a strain on your relationship, or it could have made them fall into those escapist tendencies in your relationship, because they're trying to like escape from what they're not satisfied with. They may have noticed that when they're dissatisfied with their life, they put like all their happiness onto you, and like they put all of their self-worth into receiving validation from you, or they put all of the like burden of making them feel better onto you. And so they're like, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to fix the stuff that's not working for me. Basically, they're just taking this time to get their life in order. That's what it looks like with the Knight of Pentacles. They've become aware of their unhealthy patterns, and they're getting their shit together, and they're releasing it. And I definitely think that you can heal these things within a relationship. I just think it's a personal choice on their end of like, I want to be really, really sure that these unhealthy patterns are like completely out, or very much like on their way out, almost out, before I engage with group number 3 again. But they still see you as like marriage material, life partner material, that you make them super happy. It's like, even like we spoke about in the beginning, that they had never felt this way about someone before. And I still think no one has made them as happy. I'm hearing they want to honor you. They want to treat you how you deserve to be treated. And I think they just need to do this for themselves, to know that they're better, and that they're healing, and that they're on a good path. So yeah, that's what's going on. They're working on themselves, and it's a deliberate choice. So we're going to see, what would they say to you if they were completely honest? What would they say to you if they were being completely open and honest? We have the 3 of Wands. And the Queen of Wands. Oh my gosh. So first of all, group number 3, they just want you to know how amazing you are. They want you to know how beautiful you are inside and out. And they believe in you so much. They believe that you can accomplish anything you set your mind to, because they're saying, not only are you beautiful, you're so intelligent, you're so strong, you're so clever. You can do anything you set your mind to. You're talented, you're capable, you're determined. I think they really admire your drive and your passion. If there's something you're passionate about, I think that really, really inspired them, and it just made them think that you're so cool. They think you're gonna do, or you already are doing really, really big things. And no matter what you do, they're gonna be your fan. They're gonna be your supporter. Even if they couldn't be with you, they're gonna cheer you on from the sidelines. Yeah, they're gonna be your fan. They hope that you never doubt how beautiful you are and how amazing you are. And they hope that you never try to be something you're not, or try to be someone else. Don't compare yourself to others. Know that you're perfect. And I'm sorry that I ever made you feel anything otherwise. I want to love you and honor you just as you are. What they're doing right now, they're you know, self-awareness, self-work, you taught them how to do that. They're saying you taught them how to do that, and they will credit you for this healing and this awakening that they're going through. And even if they can't be with you, it's almost like they're gonna go and live their best life as a tribute to you. You know, like, this one's for you, group number 3. Even if we're not together, I'm here and able to live my best life because of you, because of what you taught me about like healing and growth. And so I'm gonna live to the fullest for you. I think you've also helped them, you've really helped them come out of their comfort zone, take their life into their own hands. When something doesn't make them happy, they should get up and work on it. Even acknowledging that sometimes they're the problem, and acknowledging that sometimes their way of thinking and approaching situations is not healthy. Even that, I feel like, was kind of outside of their comfort zone. And you kind of taught them what a real partnership is supposed to look like. Yes, we're supposed to support and uplift each other, but we're also supposed to call out each other's flaws and help each other become better. Oh my gosh, I love how the sun is like gradually coming out and like making your reading brighter. I'm gonna try to stay out of the way because it's awkward if you can see my shadow. But yeah, I think whatever they say to you is just full of happiness and full of positivity. And like, their love and appreciation for you, it's not a contingent. I don't know if that's the word. It doesn't rely on whether or not they end up with you. It's just like a way that they will feel about you. Yeah. And then finally, we're gonna look at the bottom of the deck for messages and advice from your guides about this connection. Your guides and their guides, like, they just want you guys to talk again, honestly. They just want you guys to get back together. I just heard like, what are you waiting for? For some of you, I even heard like, this is silly. Like, just be honest. I just saw 34 too, which is like, 3 is the number of the Empress, 4 is the number of the Emperor. The Empress and the Emperor, the dynamic duo, the dream team. They're like, yeah, for some of you, your guides are saying like, this is silly. Just reach out. They may be saying that to you, they may be saying that to your person, or to both of you, but I feel like they're saying there's no reason that you guys can't talk right now. I mean, if this is their choice, if they want to like go on this journey alone, of course that's up to them. But I think your guides can see your energy and can see deep down that you both want to be like with each other and be in contact with each other, and they're like, just go for it. And that's why I think they will continue to send you signs and to send you messages about this over and over. Your energy will keep popping up for them. Their energy will keep popping up for you. I feel like the energy is hot right now. It's like a hot potato. I don't know what that means. But anyway, and also I think your guides want you to know that you can always talk to them. You can always ask them for advice. They will not get tired of like talking to you about this connection or helping you work through it, because they love you. Like, anything that you care about, they care about. So they'd be super eager to like talk to you about it. So you never have to feel like, oh my God, like I asked you about this like 13 times. They'll be like, I know, and we love it. Like, because they want you to engage in what makes you happy, and you make each other happy. And there's nothing to be ashamed of with that. As long as you're feeling good, as long as you're feeling happy, like, feel free to come to us with anything. Any questions, concerns, curiosities, observations, anything you want to talk to them about, your guides are here. So, I almost feel even like your guides want your feedback when it comes to like how good their signs are or their messages, or, you know, because they're here for you. But yeah, that is all the messages I'm seeing for you guys. So we're gonna take it over to the extended now. To recap, in the extended, we're gonna see, will your person reach out to you? And if so, what are they gonna say to you? If not, we're gonna see, should you reach out to them? Should you take action? Or is spirit perhaps going to take action to help the two of you out? And then we're gonna see what is the outcome of this connection and when. So if that sounds good to you and you would like to join me over in the extended, I'm going to have it linked down below in the description as well as in the pinned comment. However, if you're going to leave the reading here, I want to say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot Instagram, my personal Instagram, my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song, and I'll have my latest release linked down below. I'll also have my Patreon where you can watch exclusive timeless pick a card readings. Ooh, shadow fingers. Exclusive timeless pick a card readings just like this one, except for on Patreon you guys get to choose the topic for the readings, and I often do your suggestions on YouTube as well, so that's a great place to leave your reading suggestions. And then I'm also going to put my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. So all that stuff that I just mentioned is going to be linked down below for you in the description as well as in the pinned comment. Thank you so much for supporting me and for supporting my channel. It truly means so much to me. And thank you for being here. Group number 3's person, I know you are here as well. Your higher self is here. Hello. Thank you for being here. And I'm sending lots of love to both of you, to your spirit guides, your higher self, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. I can't even tell, like, is my real hand in the frame or not, because I just see giant shadow hand. What if I did the reading like this? Anyway, bye. Hi, number 4s. So if you guys chose the Rhodochrosite and the Serpentfire Tarot, this is going to be a reading all about your separation or no contact situation. So this is the full breakdown of what we're going to be covering in today's reading. We're going to have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. And here on YouTube, we're going to start with an energy check just to make sure that this is your group. So I will be taking a look at the energy of your connection, and this could be what your connection was like before going no contact, or it could be the current energies. But if it does sound like the connection you are in, then that will be your indication that this is your group. Once we do the energy check, then we're going to move into seeing how they felt about you before. So when you were still together or when you were still talking, what were their feelings for you? And what are their feelings for you now? So we can see, have their feelings for you changed? And if so, how have they changed? Then we're going to see why this person went no contact. What is the reason for this separation? And what they would say to you if they were being completely open and honest. And then we're going to finish off with a message and advice from your spirit guides about this connection. And then in the extended reading, we're going to see whether your person will eventually reach out to you. If yes, we'll see what they will say when they reach out. If no, we will see whether you should take some action towards them, or maybe spirit is going to take some action to help the two of you out. And then we're going to finish off the extended by seeing what is the outcome of this connection and when is that going to happen. So that is everything for the reading today. We're going to start off with your energy check. And to do that, I have these Oracle and Tarot cards. So let's see what we have. For your Oracle cards, we have maybe we should stop here. We have message. You are soon going to receive a message from someone special. This card also says that clear communication is needed. Check your message folders. Then we have we both need closure, and 222 is on the camera as I'm pulling out this card. And we have I dreamt about you. Okay, and then For your tarot cards, we have the Two of Swords and the Five of Cups. Okay, I really do feel for this group because this energy is a bit confusing, and I feel like many of you who chose this group could be left quite upset or even in pain with this connection. There's a couple different ways that I can interpret these energies. I do think that for some of you, there could have been a discussion that was had between you and your person where you did decide to leave things here, like you mutually decided to break up or to stop communication or whatever it is. But then after the fact, you both kind of, oh, there is a car alarm or car horn going off. So I'm going to take that as confirmation. If you are in a connection where there was like a discussion between the two of you that it's best to part ways or to break up or to stop communication, I feel like both of you are left quite saddened by that decision and are maybe both regretting or second guessing it. So if that's what happened in your case, I feel like both of you are kind of going back and forth. Should I reach out to them? No, I should get over them. No, I'm going to text them. No, this isn't good for me. I need to move on. It's like you both could be kind of on the fence like that because we have sadness here with the Five of Cups. We have someone who is like grieving their loss. And then we have this Two of Swords, someone who is stuck in the middle, stuck on the fence, like can't make a decision. So some of you, you could have like you and your person on both ends where it's like you keep debating within yourself if you should reach out and then you don't because you're like trying to move on, but also you miss each other, and that could be very confusing. Oh gosh, this has happened a few times in the reading today where like I'm about to say something and then it just disappears. It will come back if it's relevant. But I also think that for others of you, there was no discussion like this and communication just stopped. And in that case, I feel like it's you on, oh, okay, this is what I was gonna say, but I feel like it's just you on your end, kind of on the fence between like, should I reach out to this person? Should I keep having hope that they're going to reach out to me? Or should I just move on entirely? And it's confusing to navigate these conflicting emotions. And I see someone who is like going through all of these emotions, even within the space of one day. They might switch between, you know, F that person, I'm over them, to like, no, I really miss them, I'm gonna reach out, to no, they're gonna reach out, I'm gonna wait, and just going through this cycle. I remember once when I went through a breakup, you know, they say there's like the 5 stages of grief. I don't remember the order of them, but there's like anger, denial, bargaining, anger, depression, and then acceptance, maybe something like that. But I would go through all 5 of those like multiple times in one day because my brain was just like turning the situation over again and again and again. So I feel like for this group in particular, there's quite a bit of inner turmoil with this separation and no contact situation. The other thing that I was going to say that kind of escaped me for a moment is that for some of you, this could be a sort of on and off thing that's been going on where, you know, you cut communication, but then you really miss them and you message them and then you know, get back together for a bit and then you regret it and then you cut off communication again, but it's so hard to let go. It's like this emotional back and forth where it's like, I want to move on, but I can't. I miss them, but I wish I didn't. And I think it's just been difficult. I'm also picking up that for some of you, this person maybe stated their reasons for wanting to break up or wanting to stop communication, but the reason didn't really make sense to you. Almost like it kind of seemed like BS and that there was actually a different reason that they weren't telling you. And so even if they did explain a reason to you, it's like you couldn't be satisfied with it, or you couldn't really believe them. So for some of you, that maybe looks like you can feel them pulling away and they're like, oh no, I'm just really busy with school. I'm just really busy with work. Like, please don't take it personal. They're saying that, and then yet they're pulling away more and more. Or they're saying that, and yet you see them hanging out with everyone else as normal, as they're posting on social media. And so you can just call the BS. Or maybe this person said they want to break up with you for XYZ reason, but you're like, no, like that's bullshit. Like, some of you are just not satisfied with like the reason or the justification that this person gave. And so like whatever the case might be, I just feel like there's a complete lack of closure for this group, and there's confusion and just an indecision of like, you know, I miss you, I want to keep having hope, to then being like, screw this, I want to feel better, I want to move on. It's like some days I miss you and I want to be with you to fix that feeling of loneliness. And then other days I just like wish I didn't care. I just wish I'd never met you. It's like an intense kind of swinging back and forth like that. You could be dreaming about this person, which I think, honestly, I think doesn't help. There could be like an on and off situation, or you're trying to be friends or trying to communicate casually and it's just not working. Like, it kind of needs to be all or nothing so that you can just get clarity and like move on if you need to. But I feel like we're in a weird in between with this group that is just not good for you, and like it's not good for either of you. The last thing I want to mention is astrological placements that are present here. So we have Libra and Scorpio energy with the Two of Swords and the Five of Cups. And more specifically, this is Moon in Libra and this is Mars in Scorpio. So you or your person could have Libra or Scorpio placements, especially Moon and Mars. Or you could have signs that are next to each other. If you're not familiar with astrology, that basically means that your birthdays would be roughly 1 month apart. And then with the numbers 2 and 5, like 25, 52, those could be relevant numbers. Ages, you could have a 2, oh, this came out in a different group, a 2, 3, or 5 year age gap, or you could be a life path 2 or life path 5, or your person could be February 5th, May 2nd, could be significant dates. But hopefully by now you can tell whether this is your group. If this does sound like what you've been experiencing, then keep watching. We're going to dive into the tarot now. I'm just going to drink some water. And let's get into it. So the first thing that we're going to see is, how did this person feel about you when you were together? We have the Nine of Cups. And how do they feel about you now? Okay, we have the King of Swords, and I do want to mention that this card took a very long time to come out compared to this one. So with the Nine of Cups here, I mean, they definitely really liked you and cared quite a lot for you when you were together, when you were talking. The Nine of Cups, it is a happy card. It's a positive card. There's a feeling of like, everything is good. I have no complaints. Like, I'm happy with what I have. I think that they were quite happy and satisfied with your connection. There is a feeling of, I'm happy with just the way things are. You know, like I wouldn't want any more and I wouldn't want any less. So if in the connection you were wanting something more or something different, that might have caused a disconnect between the two of you. Because what I see for them, when you were like in your connection, when you were talking, when you were involved, they were like, I want things to just stay like this. I'm happy with the way things are now. I don't want to change things. I don't want to like see you less. I don't want to see you more. I don't want to be less committed. I don't want to be more committed. I just want things to be like this. Like that's coming through quite strongly. I do think this person was really happy and got like a satisfaction from being with you because they were interested in you, like, you know, had a crush on you, wanted to get closer to you from before you were together. So when you did get together in the way that you did, it was kind of like a desire was fulfilled for them. A wish came true for them. You know, like they got their crush, they got the person that they wanted. And I think that made them happy. I also think it, you know, boosted their ego and boosted their confidence a bit. Now, when we look at how they feel now, there's definitely been a shift because we went from a cups card to a sword card. This is related to the heart, feelings, emotions. This is like the head, the rational, logical side of us. And the King of Swords can definitely have like a coldness to him because he is detached. There's a feeling of this person is detached right now. We'll have to look a little bit deeper with the further cards because for some of you, this could mean that they've just like moved on from this connection. They're detached in the sense that they're over it and they've moved on. For others of you, I feel like in their head, they've detached from it, but in their heart, they haven't moved on. Like I said in the start of the reading, for those of you who like mutually agreed, like you talked about, let's break up, let's end the relationship here. If that is the case for you, I think it's more likely that in their heart, they still have feelings for you. Whereas if they just kind of like one-sidedly drifted away or ghosted you, I feel like for that section of this group, it's likely that they just kind of moved on. But again, I can't really say for sure yet, so we're going to take some further cards. But yeah, it definitely looks like from the past versus now, they have detached from their emotions. Yeah. So let's take a look at why there is no contact or why this separation happened. For some of you, like if you resonate with, you know, you wanting the connection to be more or you wanting the dynamic to be different and them just wanting to keep things the way they are. If that's the case, I feel like they are disappointed, but at the same time, they're like, you know, there's nothing we can do about it. You know, we just want different things. So over time, they just like figure that they have to move on. There's also a feeling of someone, you know, we're not together anymore or we're not, you know, really talking anymore. But then it's like they might still casually text you like, hey, happy birthday, hope you're doing well. Or like they might, I'm just looking at this 5 of Cups, like they might message you or call you when they're intoxicated and you would really rather them not, because it's like, I can't move on from you if you're just going to keep randomly popping in, especially if you've moved on. It's like, why are you even, you know, like I could see them maybe like still wanting to be friends or still wanting to be casual with you. And you're like, no, I feel like you're more the energy that you know, you want all or nothing, or like you just want them to be clear. Why is there no contact? Why did group number 4's person go no contact? Okay, so we have a card that fell on the floor. There is the Sun, which this was the card that I showed you guys in the intro to select your group, which is very interesting. Okay, this makes sense. And we have the 8 of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah. This person is just, I feel like they're just less of a committal person than you. With the 9 of Cups, you know, we spoke about, like, I'm happy with the way things are. This is also a card that can talk about contentment, easiness, a lack of stress, like things are just peaceful. I feel like this is someone who just wanted things to stay like easy breezy between the two of you. So if there was any conflict, it like maybe turned them off from the connection. Or in general, they're just not really, they don't really have that philosophy of like putting in hard work to make a relationship work. And they would rather just be with someone that naturally things, I mean, obviously no relationship is perfect and like we're never gonna have disagreements, but I feel like they're less of a let's fight to make things work and more of a like I'm just gonna be completely me and you just be completely you, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, like I don't want to bother. They're more like that kind of person. I guess what I'm trying to say is that they're less inclined to compromise and, you know, like suit up and fight with their partner when things get tough. They would just want like an easy situation. Which, you know, if they want to live their life like that, that's awesome. It's just, I feel like that's not, it maybe doesn't match with your philosophy of relationships or like what you hoped for the connection. Because what I see here with the Sun, the reason for going no contact is because a truth came out. You know, with this big sun in the sky, the sun is like a light that exposes everything. It's, you know, things coming to light essentially. Something became clear, something became obvious. And then we have these two creatures, which, you know, often I would read these as yin and yang, but it's clear to me in the context of this reading that it's showing in some regard the two of you are completely different. Like you think completely different about a certain issue or like what you want from relationships or your love language, whatever it might be. There is something about you that is completely different, opposite from each other, and that came to light. Now with the 8 of Pentacles here, I'm being shown that whatever this like, you know, difference, polar opposite thing was with the two of you, with consistent work and effort, you know, it takes extra work to overcome differences, but it can be done if both parties, because the number 8 is all about balance, if both parties are really willing to put in the work. And the 8 of Pentacles is like, you have to show up every day. You have to show up consistently. You know, I think it's like in relationships, you're not just like, oh, we have this difference. Let's talk it out once. Yay, now we're harmonious. It's like you got to keep working on it. It's the same thing with healing. It's the same thing with learning a skill. You don't just go from like I can't do this to now I can do it. You know, you have to keep maintaining it. And I feel like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm getting like frustrated for you because oh my God, okay, I'm sorry. Like this is actually triggering me a little bit, but that's just like my personal whatever. I just got the feeling of someone like, it's like, okay, let's say there's person A and person B. Person B really hurt person A, okay? And person A says, hey, I'm really, really hurt. Like you broke my trust. You really upset me. Person B apologizes. And then later, when person A is still hurting, they're like, I already said sorry. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, it doesn't work like that, my man. Like, or my gender neutral group number 4's person. Like, it doesn't work that way. I feel like they expect like things are just going to be easy. And if a bump in the road comes up, like will work through it and then it's done. And like, it doesn't work that way. It takes time, it takes consistency. If we have a difference in communication styles and that causes misunderstandings and miscommunications and like hurt feelings, we have to work on that shit every day. We have to keep that in mind, like every time we have a conversation. That's our commitment to each other. It's not just one thing that we sit down and we're like, oh, okay, but when I say that, I don't actually mean it that way. And then we're done. And then the next time I say that, you're not going to get hurt. Like, we have to constantly be mindful of it. Or like, if you hurt me and my trust is broken, like, it doesn't just fix because you said sorry. Like, it takes time. Anyway, sorry, I'm ranting a little bit, but it's like, maybe they have a bit of like a naive view of relationships where it's like everything is just going to be great and things can be solved quickly. Yeah, and that's like the detachment of emotions. It's like kind of not understanding that that's not how feelings work. It's not just like, oh, we talked about this, so we're healed. We apologized, so we're healed. I'm hearing someone being like, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, I already fixed it. Like, what do you want from me? And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting triggered. Yeah, so I think it came to light that there was like a difference between the two of you, or like you want different things, and they were just like, oh, well then I guess we're not gonna work out then. Which, like, maybe they're right, honestly. Like, maybe they were correct in removing themselves, because I feel like whatever it was, it could have been solved within a relationship where both people were like willing to work on it. You know, where both people were like committed and consistent, and they understand, you know, like a long-term relationship is long-term work. Life partnership is a life's work. Like, it's, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So let's see, what would they tell you if they were being completely honest? I do want to mention as well, we have Leo energy here, Virgo energy here, particularly a Virgo sun. We also have Jupiter in Pisces here, which is a bit more specific. Jupiter was in Pisces in 1998. So someone born in that year would have Jupiter in Pisces, or if you plus or minus any multiple of 12. Year of the dog could also be significant, which is 1994, 82, 70, 2006. That would be kind of young though. What would they say to you if they were being completely honest? We have the King of Pentacles. Sighs deeply. Oh my gosh. And the Death card. Group number 4, I'm sorry, like, I wish I could just like deliver these messages very objectively, but my like personal stuff is kind of getting in the way, because what this person would tell you if they're being really honest is that you should move on because you deserve better. You should move on because they don't deserve you. Like, you deserve the world. You deserve someone who's going to treat you really well, and which is true, but it's just kind of like, we have stuff to work on in our relationship. I'm not going to do it, and therefore I don't deserve you, and you deserve someone better. It's like, I don't know, the logic is logicking, I guess. But yeah, because death, it's about release, it's about moving on, it's about an ending. I feel like if they were just being very blunt with you, they would want you to move on, they would encourage you to move on. They would think, because the King of Pentacles is like, you deserve the best of the best in this world. I will say, I think this is someone who does see you in a very high light, and they really do believe that you deserve the best and you deserve to be treated better. And I don't know, maybe it's like a self-awareness, self-aware king, queen of them, that they can recognize like they're not the one who can treat you the way you deserve to be treated at this time. But yeah, I don't know, like reading these cards, I just feel like frustration come up. So, I mean, it could very well just be me, or maybe I'm channeling a bit of frustration on your end, but that seems like what they would tell you. And I will say they're right. You do deserve the highest love. You do deserve someone who respects you, someone who is willing to put in the work for you. And it's hard, right? Because if you're the type of person who's like, let's work things out, even when the other person is falling short, I feel like your instinct is to say like, it's okay, we can solve this. We can work through like this person's unwillingness, or we can work through this person's like lack of emotional availability or lack of emotional intelligence. Like we can fix it. I can fix it. And you deserve the reciprocity. You need the reciprocity, honestly. So at the bottom of the deck, yeah, we have the Hermit. This is messages and advice from your spirit guides about this connection. And the Hermit is a period of solitude, a period of introspection, a period of reflection. Your spirit guides could be saying that you're better off alone, honestly. I think there's also a piece of advice to maybe disconnect for a while. Block this person's number if you haven't already, like unfollow them, like do what you can to not be reminded of them. You may even want to just like disconnect from everything for a while. If I think of the Hermit literally, it's like retreating, isolating to just reflect and focus on yourself. I would also say with the Hermit card that there's a piece of advice to just be single for some time, or be alone for some time, or that they're reminding you it's better to be alone than to be in not the best company. And I think this is a period where like a lot of self-love and a lot of spiritual growth is going to come from it. I also think that if you're able to let go, you'll find that you reconnect to your inner compass. Because I feel like at many times throughout this connection, you had to kind of like intentionally disconnect from your inner compass to accommodate this person, to satisfy this person, or like to keep them around. You had to kind of go against your intuition or go against what felt natural to you. And it's almost like something kicked in where you're like, oh no, it's okay. Like we can make it work. We can fix it. When like deep down, your inner guidance would be telling you like, no, this doesn't feel good. And I also think you really need to know that like this connection not working out, like it's 0% like a failure or a shortcoming on your part. You didn't do anything wrong. And I hope that you don't have any guilt or regret, because you just showed up with your pure heart. You know, you just showed up with your loving, warm heart. You didn't do anything wrong. You did all the right things. Yeah, take some time for yourself, by yourself. Take some time to reflect. You're going to come back to yourself. You're going to come back to your inner compass, and it's going to feel really good. So these are all the messages I'm seeing for this group. So we're going to take it over to the extended reading now. As a reminder, in the extended, we're going to see if this person is eventually going to reach out to you, and if so, what would they say? We're going to see what actions you should take, if any, like if there's anything you should do or anything spirit is going to do to help in this situation. And then we're going to see what the final outcome is of this connection, or we'll maybe see what the final outcome is for you and when that's going to happen. We'll just see how the reading goes. But if that sounds good to you and you would like to join me in the extended, I'm going to have that linked down below in the description as well as in the pinned comment of this video. However, if you're going to leave the reading here, I want to say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can see exclusive pick a card readings just like this one, except for on Patreon, you guys get to choose the topic. And I often do your suggestions on YouTube that you leave me on Patreon. So it's a good place to share the suggestions you have for readings. I'm also going to link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song, and I'll have my latest release linked down below as well. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. So all that stuff that I just mentioned is going to be linked down below. Thank you so much for supporting me and for supporting my channel. It means so much to me. Group number 4, thank you for being here. I'm sending lots of love to you, your spirit guides, your higher self, your whole spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.